Got him, little guy. Baby largemouth. Interesting. You're supposed to be like 5 times bigger than this. At least 5 times bigger than this. At least he's right within the roof of the mouth where you want him. It's one thing about fishing a bait like this, the pig stick, is you catch a ton of fish. I mean, it's a great way to get kids involved in fishing. It's easy. You don't want to give them something super technical. You just want to give them something they're going to get bit a lot, and everything eats a bait like the pig stick. Hey guys, JP DeRose here, and we're on Lake Champlain, and today we're taking on docks. Now, docks are something bass fishermen, especially largemouth guys, have been fishing for years, but there's so many different types of docks and so many things to look for when you're trying to fish docks that you really want to pay attention to the specifics, because little details will make you have such a better day. Things I look for are the spacing between the docks, but most importantly, how close the deep water gets to docks. Right now, I'm in 10 feet of water. I'm using my map to actually see. I'm rolling up on deeper water that touches the shoreline where there's a series of docks. And if you have that, it gives fish a great excuse to escape to deep water or go right up under the docks to feed or rest. Now, when it comes to fishing docks, there's a number of baits, like Texas rig plastics. A jig is one of my favorite, jig and plastic. But it's really hard to beat a slow-falling wacky rig bait like the pig stick from Crush City. It's just one of those things that it gives them ample time. When they're negative, it keeps that bait in the strike zone longer, gives them time to think about eating it, and you can leave it in there without making it fall down and into the weed or cover under the dock. That slow fall triggers a lot of bites. I'm wacky rigging it, which means I'm hooking it in the middle, as you can see here, and that's gonna give it the most natural action when it falls. But fishing it, I'm target casting strategically to corners of the docks and under the docks as best I can. And once you get it in the water, you're kind of just letting it fall down. So depending how deep the water is, you're gonna wait longer, obviously, but I usually count about a second per foot, and then I add 4 or 5 seconds to let it sit on the bottom, giving fish time to decide. And I'm watching my line when I'm doing this. This is a good thing. I'm throwing fluorocarbon. I've got 14 to 18 pound test fluorocarbon on when I'm doing this around docks. And you can basically watch that line sitting on the water. And as it goes, if you see a jump in the line and it starts swimming away, you know one has it, and then you can swing for the fences. There we go. Little persistence paying off. Man, you want to talk about making you work for it. Look at that hook position. This is why a straight shank hook is so good for wacky rigging. Yeah, it's great, those little octopus wacky rigging hooks, but nothing is better than that little straight shank. Right in the roof of the nose, never gonna get off. A little small 1/0 VMC flipping hook and a decent largemouth. This makes fishing fun. When you can do stuff like that, you see them, you figure out a different angle of attack, and then you catch one, just makes it that much more enjoyable. Let's get this one back. One thing I see a lot of is when you go to a lake, people naturally look for docks that are tight together, and they're thinking, it's good efficiency for the time I'm gonna spend. I'm gonna get to flip a lot of docks in a short period of time because they're tight together. But the fact is, these ones that are really stretched out, it makes it less of a needle in a haystack and more of there's only a few places a big fish can hide. So you want those docks that have more space. You want them more spread apart. Having a good, powerful trolling motor is gonna help you do that. So that's why I'm probably loving the Quest so much, is because it moves my boat at 3.8 miles an hour. It allows me to cover those big gaps between docks. Not drain my batteries because I'm on 10 all day, and I'm efficient and quiet. That is what you want when you're fishing docks. Got him. Oh, he's around the pole. Whenever you get a fish around the pole, take your time with him and you let him get himself out. That's one thing you gotta do. That's a nice one. Oh, there you go. That's what we're looking for. That's a nice Champlain largemouth right there. Hooked right in the roof of the mouth. Look at that hook. That pig stick stood no chance in there. That little VMC 1/0 flipping hook. That's a good looking fish right there. We'll get this one back in the water. When it comes to picking a combo to fish docks with a wacky rig bait like the pig stick, I like to have 2 options here. One, I love straight fluorocarbon when I'm doing something like this. 16 or 18 pound test, depending how gnarly the docks are. But for me, the rod means a lot because I want to have something that I'm accurate with, but have lots of power to pull the fish out of the cover. I go with the GLX 893C JWR. So that's a jig worm rod, 7'5", medium heavy, fast action. That fast action allows me to flick that bait up under and skip it up under with ease. But that backbone of that medium heavy, once I set that hook, I can drag that fish out of any cover. That coupled with either a high gear ratio XG Corrado 150 or an HG 7:1 gear ratio reel, both will work just fine for this. And it is a great combo when I am fishing clear water and I want fluorocarbon, or I want to deal with, you know, heavy cover and more power. But there's a time and place for everything, and spinning definitely has to be brought into this conversation. The one thing about spinning rods I love now is that with the new reels, especially something like this is Shimano's Twin Power 2500 size. The beautiful thing about this reel is the fact that it has 20 pounds of drag, and it has the new Duracross drag washers in it, so it's silky smooth. So you can tighten it without fear of anything binding up or get you into trouble. Couple that with Power Pro braid, and I've got 8 or 10 pound test braid on here and a 14 pound fluorocarbon leader. You can actually Texas rig your pig stick, and you can actually cut these down, which I also like. So if I'm fishing something a little more finessey and I want to get down to 4 inches rather than 5, I can trim an inch, Texas rig it with a Texas rigging hook, and I've got VMC wide gap hook on here, and I can skip that really easily with spinning. You can load that spinning up. It takes less skill than skipping underhand or sidearm with a baitcaster. This is an 892 SJWR GLX. This is a 7'5" medium with fast action. The critical part, if you're noticing, both of these rods are 7'5". It's the fast action that allows you to present the bait with accuracy and with skill. You can twitch, you can move, you can twitch around that bait, around posts, and get it up under cover. That fast action is basically what it is the tip of the rod. The way it loads, the faster the rod, the more it loads towards the tip of the rod. The slower the rod, the more parabolic they are. Fast and extra fast rods are more accurate and allow you to get under there. So 7'1" to 7'5" medium power fast action is a great choice when it comes to spinning. Now, one piece of advice I can give you is go with a high-vis braid. When you're picking your Power Pro, whether it's 8 or 10 pound test, go with high-vis yellow or white or high-vis green like moonshine, because that is gonna contrast really well against the water, and it floats, so you're gonna be able to see that line jump when a fish strikes your bait and starts running. It's gonna allow you to get ready to set the hook. No more being caught off guard when you're not paying attention. High-vis braid definitely gives you an advantage. Got him. It's a better fish. Yeah, a little bit better. Had to be one under that boat. A little largie, nice solid chunk. A little Champlain, well-fed largemouth. God, are they fun. They are a ton of fun. It's just a matter of persistence. Just keep fishing, working cover, and eventually you're gonna come across the right one, but put your casts in there and do not skip spots. They can live on the shallow side, the deep side, under the boat, under the dock, under the rails. Just cover everything. And then try to figure out the pattern. That's all it is. Yeah, I know the smallmouth win tournaments, but largemouth are just way more fun to catch to me.